mini series with Jucelyn, our author and an empowerment coach, right? So, Jucelyn, you
Yes,
have not
Lillian.
taken your lunch, right? You mentioned
Yes, not yet. After this.
after this.
After this.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So, how has your weekend and your weekend been?
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Weekend is always good for, I mean, now with the heightened alert, right? Can't be catching up with big groups of friends, but I managed to catch up with a good friend, just
Mm-hmm.
one over the weekend. So I think it was good. It was good time of, sometimes bouncing off ideas and listening to other people's life experiences and just being a listening ear. Sometimes we learn much from listening to other people as well.
Right.
So,
And through such conversations, sometimes we also get to learn about, especially the subject that you're going to talk about, the topic that
mm,
you're going to talk about today. Yeah.
yes,
And you want to share with the audience what is it that you're going to be talking about today?
sure. So today's topic is about unassertiveness and how it
Mm,
can impact your relationship.
right.
So
Okay.
I'm not sure
Unass-
how many of you, yes, unassertiveness, how many of you actually struggle with that? Yeah, Lillian, have you ever struggled with that? Yeah, personally?
well, I think before
Or
we
is
go
it just
into the struggle of it,
mm,
I think there might be some misconception about assertiveness and what do you really mean by assertiveness or unassertiveness or even aggressive because
mm,
um yeah that these few terms these two terms can often cause a bit of confusion there. Yeah, so you
right?
want to explain a little bit about the difference between
Okay.
assertiveness and being aggressive.
Okay, that's a good point, right? Before I ask that question, because if you don't even know the difference, then you might find, how do I answer that question? In fact, I'm going to throw in one more. What's the difference between assertiveness, aggressiveness, and passive
Mm.
aggressive? Yeah. So,
Nice one. Yeah.
passive aggressive, because this is a term that not often, some people might not have even heard of this term before. What's passive aggressive? Aggressive, we all know, right? You're being very out there, you're being very in the face of somebody. Basically, aggressiveness meaning when you need to put a point across, your
Mm.
impression of someone who's aggressive or with someone's body language is very strong. The tone of voice might be very loud, very intimidating, and basically encroaching into your personal space when trying
Mm.
to get his or her way, right? I think that is a very common understanding of aggression, which we might see in incidents like road rage and certain bullying incidences. But passive
Mm.
aggressive, it's kind of like a oxymoron, right? You're aggressive, but you're passive. So, yeah, passive
What are
aggressive.
some of the examples?
Yeah, I'm
What are
going to
some
give
of
you
the
some
examples of
example.
passive aggressive? I think that's easier, right? Yeah.
Right. So for somebody who finds it difficult to put their views across or their standpoints across, so they have ideas. It's not that they don't have ideas or opinion. They have. They might be upset about something or resentful about something. It could have been built up over months or over past incidences, but they do not know how to put it across. So they do it in a very non-threatening manner, but still showing the point that I'm really not happy with you. So a passive
Mm.
aggressive behavior could be giving somebody a stonewalling treatment or slamming the door. Yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
upset about something, you don't know how to put it across to your partner or to your colleagues, and you let it out by behavior such as slamming the door. Have you encountered that before? Someone coming home and just slam the door, or throwing things, or just ignoring you. Yeah, these
Yeah.
are
When
what
I
is.
was when I was younger, I remember, during my primary school days,
Ah,
yeah, the way I release my my anger and my emotion passive aggressively is by slamming the door. My dad used to joke about it some more. You want to tear down the house, and
oh,
I mean,
really?
Yeah, obviously I was upset about something, but I'm not
Right.
voicing it out. I'm not articulating it, and I'll just like slam the door. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. So whatever you've just shared is exactly what passive aggressive means. You're not outright aggressive, but you need to vent it and get it out of your system. So it's actually very unhealthy because if
yeah,
you actually allow passive aggressive behavior, it undermines the trust level in the relationship, and it does cause a lot of confusion as well. Like, what are you not happy about? That's why it then brings us back to what is a healthy way of actually releasing what we are not happy about or our opinions, which is how we need to learn to be assertive. And
yeah.
this is
And
where I'm going
one more
into.
example.
Yes.
One more example of a passive aggressive, and that could be
Hmm.
can come across as like if someone asks you to do something and you're not happy with that
Yes.
person, yeah, you will
Yes.
okay, you will say yes, you know,
Procrastinate,
and you'll just
right?
procrastinate about it, and you're just not going to deliver, and that person will be like, you know,
Yes.
very panicked because like you know, it could be something that is very urgent and he or she needed help, and you're just not going to provide the help, but you say okay. Yeah, so that's another way of
Yeah,
how a
that
passive aggressive may look like.
that's right. I dealt a lot with that, in the past, and I'm still work in progress sometimes, but I catch myself. Okay, so the improvement is I catch myself when I find myself doing that. Hello, Karen. Yeah,
Hi,
Karen.
Karen.
Afternoon, ladies, right? Yeah, so I find myself procrastinating because, yeah, you're right. Maybe I don't want to take on this load or whatever you've just asked me to do, but I don't know how to tell you and be assertive
Mm,
about it. So I agree, but I'll just drag my feet. And it's not the best way to deal with anything actually, right? You get frustrated. I end up frustrating you, and I'm just hoping you don't come back to me. You're right. So it doesn't yeah, it's not the best way to help a relationship, any relationship for that matter. So
yeah.
that brings us back again to what is assertiveness, right? And why it's
Mm,
important. So
yeah.
actually, assertiveness is a core communication skill. I realized it's a way of
Mm-hmm,
communicating actually in a healthy manner. So if
mm-hmm,
you are one who is assertive, it basically
mm,
means that you are able to express yourself effectively, and how you
mm,
do it is by putting across your point firmly,
mm,
right? Letting the other person know, okay, this is what is expected. You stand up for your viewpoint, and you actually would be happier because you have it boosts your self-esteem
mm-hmm,
because you're able to communicate to the other person what are your needs, what are your wants, what are some of the boundaries that cannot be broached, while at
mm,
the same time respecting the other person's viewpoint as well. That is what
yeah.
assertiveness actually means.
Yeah. I think for me, in short, in a very short
Hmm.
description or explanation, is being firm. Yeah,
Yes.
being firm to, you know, whatever that you stand for, whatever you want to drive across. Yeah, but not coming across as aggressive. Yes, that's the difference.
Hmm.
Aggressive is like, you know, you really like rain down on a person
Yes,
after
yes, yes.
whatever you want to communicate down the throat. Yeah, but that's aggressive. But assertive, yeah, like you said, there's respect and but being firm, right? Being firm about what you want to communicate across. Yeah,
Yep.
so we got that fundamentals cleared.
Yeah,
And
there's
yeah,
some
going back.
prerequisites. Yeah, there's some prerequisites how being assertive in a relationship can work best they actually work best in a relationship, business relationship, any relationship, or for that matter, friendship, that is based
Mm,
on mutual respect. I have to emphasize this because if there's no mutual respect, then
mm,
you can be assertive, but you might be met with aggressive behavior, yeah,
mm,
if the other
okay.
partner is not having the same understanding or wavelength, then that will bring us
Mm,
to another question altogether. Then how do you deal with that? Maybe for another session, right? Yeah, but it works
okay,
best in a setting where there's mutual respect. Yeah.
right. So coming back to your very first statement, unassertiveness and its
Hmm.
impact on your relationship. So yeah, let's talk about that. What's the impact that it's going to have when you are not being assertive? Yeah.
Okay, so the impact would be by not vocalizing your needs and your wants, you
Mm-hmm.
have actually also signaled to the other party that they can do likewise to you. You don't even
Mm.
stand up for your viewpoints. You don't even respect yourself enough to try to get the other person to understand what you need in order to function better. So you are
Mm-hmm.
going to end up attracting people who are going to also ignore your needs. So
Mm.
when I think back, I realize that a lot of the issues in relationships sometimes, if we bother to
Mm.
dive deeper, would we do have to take ownership for some of the problems that arise. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're assertive, on the contrary, you will be attracting people, good people, who truly respect you and care about you. That's why they
Mm.
respect
Yep.
your boundaries. In fact, they will look up to you. That's why I realized that being a doormat or pushover, to me, I used to think that, oh, that's the way that people are going to accept me. That's the way that I'm going to get my unconditional love. Unfortunately, the reverse is true. You are going to attract people who actually look down on you. They'll
Mm.
be like, what's wrong with you? You can't even, oh, anything goes with you. And then they tend to start taking you for granted.
Or even manipulating.
Yeah, that will
Yeah.
be
Right.
unfortunately the worst
Because
case scenario.
yeah, because they see a weakness there. I mean, they see an opportunity there where they can manipulate. Yeah. Yeah. Your trait here. If you're not being assertive. Yeah. Mm.
That's right. That's right. So, in fact, this is a real story. I mean, this is real. I'm speaking from personal experience, where
Mm.
my daughter, I mean, she's pretty old, like late teens, right? She actually said this before, and at that time, I couldn't quite accept it. I mean, what she said. Sometimes people say the truth hurts, or
Mm.
sometimes when we are not at that level of self-awareness yet. So this
Mm.
conversation happened maybe about 2 3 years back. Yeah, when my
Okay.
self-awareness level is I haven't been doing so much soul searching and reflection and learning. And she said this. She said, you complain about how people treat you, or that you are not being respected, or why so and so did this terrible thing to you. But don't you realize that to some extent you should, it's kind of your fault too, because you allowed that person, you didn't put a stop to it.
Mm.
And at that time, it was very hard for me to accept, because the poor victim, I'm a poor victim here mentality. And then someone is telling you that, hey, maybe you want to reflect on why it happened. Yeah,
Mm.
so, it came from a 16, 17 years old. But now I think about it, and that's why I want to share with you as well, that when issues arise, we also want to know what role we have played and how we can improve on it and how we can take
Mm.
steps to address it.
Right.
Yeah, in a mutually respectful relationship, that is. But if the other person, like you said, is very manipulative or is purely a bully, and repeatedly, even though you're setting boundaries and trying to enforce consequences, then you might want to
Mm.
also reflect and think about the health of that relationship, or why you're still even in that relationship,
Mm.
if there's anything that can be done. Yeah.
Right. So, other than what you have shared earlier, is there any other impact on the relationship?
Of course, if you are not able to assert your viewpoints, your likes, your dislikes, your way of thinking is not, you can't even voice it out, or rather you're afraid of it, then
Mm.
your desires and who you are, your authentic self and all that, is actually always there. You are just
Mm.
bearing it deep down. So it's like a volcano, right? It needs to one day vent, release.
Mm.
And and one of the adverse impact on relationship would be, I feel, a lot of deep resentment that is built.
Mm.
And then every incident is just layered upon layered, like the gao ting kueh, you like kueh, right? The nonyang, the colorful rainbow cake thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah. It's
when
an
I was young, I
Asian
remember
lovely dessert.
delicacy, right?
Asian
Yeah, for
delight.
me, I used
Yes.
to peel off layer by layer when I was eating it when I was young. And it's the same thing. Sometimes we need to examine layer by layer what is the root issue? Why are
Mm.
we not assertive? Why
Yeah.
are we
And
afraid of boundaries?
yeah, and I mean, going back to your point where you're building up, you're building up all this
Mm,
resentment, or even it can turn into bitterness and all that, and yeah, it's like a dormant volcano waiting to erupt, and when it finally exploded and erupted, yeah, you can't even pinpoint what's the problem here. Anything can just trigger the eruption, and by that time you erupted, you may not
mm,
even know what's the problem.
mm.
Yeah, what's the real root problem, like you mentioned, right? Because it has
Yes, because the
already
real root
accumulated
problem
over time.
over years, it can be over years, it can be over decades even, right? Because the root problem was never solved. So you are arguing about something else and everything else, but that root problem remains. Maybe you feel that you're not heard. Maybe you feel that you're not respected, but over the years, you allow it to be swept under the carpet, and then
Hmm.
these are all symptoms of the root
Hmm.
problem. Yes.
And but having said that, we are not encouraging you to like go into a conflict and go into a fight. Like, yeah, being again, we want to emphasize that assertiveness is just being firm. It's not being aggressive, right? So I think which brings us to the next point, isn't it? About the difference between conflict aversion versus conflict resolution, isn't it? Yeah.
That's
Mm.
right.
You want to talk about that as well? Mm.
Okay, so conflict aversion, as the name suggests, you basically avoid conflict,
Mm.
right? You just
Mm.
avoid conflict. So I was a very conflict averse person, like literally, because I just want to make peace. I just want everybody to be happy. So conflict is something to be frowned upon. It's scary, it's intimidating. I'm afraid of what the conflict will result in. But
Mm.
I've since realized that healthy conflicts are there for a reason, right? We all have different viewpoints, and if you are able to walk through conflict with the other person, and that process, it's not the end result that's important. Very often, the journeying, the process is what is even more important or paramount to the relationship. It's through the talking and all
Mm.
that I understand. Oh, so this is how you think. I've never seen it from that perspective. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but
There,
to
there,
facilitate
mm,
that process, again, there are certain steps that I'll share with the audience, like what is a good way of conflict resolution. Yeah.
okay. And before you go into that,
Mm,
I do know of, like, because I use the Enneagram personality profiling tools, and for coaching, and I do come across a different personality,
mm,
very interesting, unique personality, and there are certain personality that will, like you said, very conflict averse, and but a relationship will come to a stage where the honeymoon period will will not last forever. Yeah, and it requires effort and time and effort to actually keep that passion going, right? That if you want the honeymoon to last forever and ever, that it requires a lot of effort and commitment. But having the knowledge and awareness that any relationship will come to a point where you will encounter conflicts. You will encounter disagreement, and yeah, that you don't agree with each other, and that's where you need to face the conflict and resolve it rather than avoiding it. Yeah, that's why there are people who just, the moment conflict arises, they will say bye and they just choose the escape route, and then they repeat the pattern with another person. So they will jump from relationship to relationship. Yeah.
True,
So
true.
yeah. So
It's just bringing your baggage to different city, but still the same baggage.
yeah.
I read this somewhere,
So
right?
it's,
And yeah,
yeah, so
you're
it's
right
very
about
important
relationship.
to be able to resolve the conflict, right? You're going to share with
Agree.
us some steps that how to resolve
Yeah,
conflict.
just five simple steps. Because very often we'll go, yeah, I need
Okay.
to solve conflicts, but how do I do it in a healthy way? Now, this 5 steps is not only applicable for relationships, but even for workplace conflicts. Okay, because generally conflicts are conflicts, right? It's just that it's a skill set actually. So one of which is first you need to step one to define the source of the conflict. Okay, so step one, both of you must be very clear what is the source of the conflict. Okay.
So define the cause of the conflict.
Yeah,
You're
the
saying?
actual cause of the conflict. Yeah, sometimes we can be talking around an issue, but not about the issue, right? So between the both of you, or even in the workplace, what is the actual problem here? So we define the cause of the conflict. Then step two is to look beyond the incident. Why do I say that? You know, sometimes when you okay, let's put it in a simple marital context, right? Maybe both of you had a bad day at work, and maybe you gave some instruction that was not carried out, and so there was a big fight. And then you could have, I see you're always like that. I told you to do this. You can't even do this. Come on, it was on the way back. I said to buy milk, right? And you forgot. So now the baby's crying, and then it just blows up, right? And after a while, it became the incident. So step two is to always remember to look beyond the incident and not be so wrapped up after a while. Yeah, like you said, in the end, you're fighting or quarreling about something which you say, hey, actually, what started? Because you brought in things from 20 years ago, right? And then, instead of videotape recording where you press repeat and then, you bring up past incidents which are not healthy. So you are not resolving it objectively
The
as well.
incident
So,
the incident is just the trigger, right? Of
yes,
a
correct.
deeper cause of the conflict, right? That
Correct.
brings
So that is
go
step
back
two,
to
to
point
look
number one.
beyond. That's right. So to look beyond that incident itself, especially when it's already so heated, right? And step three will be to request for solutions. So yeah, you fight, quarrel, throw things. Some people who've got anger management issue. It's like, okay, so what is the solution here? Okay, shall we try to solve whatever we are talking about? So solution from you, solution from me, or we can discuss together. Okay, how do we solve this? Right? And it's linked to the fourth step, which is to identify solutions that both you and I can agree with, or we think that, okay, feasible to prevent this incident from happening next time. This is what I do. Maybe I send you a reminder, towards the evening when you're coming home to buy the meal, because I told you in the morning, maybe you forgot because, you've got a long day ahead and then you've got like 5 Zoom meetings in between or something. Means we work out. Okay, do you agree with this? Is that how I can help you to do this? Yeah. So it's like a mutual.
Okay. So point number 4 you're saying is
to identify the solutions that both of you support.
let's okay. So number 3 was to request for solution, right?
Solutions, yes. Because I
Yeah. And
request for
then
a
number
solution, you
4,
give me yours, I give you mine. But the fourth is to compromise, right? To come to a set
to
that we
compromise.
both can agree. Yeah, because the third step is just you might give your views on what you think, right, might work. I give my views. But the fourth step is very important. Where we can give our views, but at the end of the day, if we don't agree, again, it's not going to work, right? And
Okay.
the
So
fifth
being
step
able to
is,
compromise.
yes, and then the fifth step is to agree. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
agree that, okay, this is what we are going to work. Agreement. And then we keep each other reminded or accountable that, should we meet an issue like this again? Remember, this was what we discussed. Yeah, to keep coming back to the main point. Yeah, so I think these
Right.
are simple steps that we can try practicing
Mm.
when we, instead of running away from the conflict.
Mm.
Yeah, so I used
Okay,
to,
so just a quick recap on these 5 steps, right? So number
yeah,
one is to define the cause of the conflict,
that's
right?
right.
And then number two is to look beyond the incident. And then, you also want to request for solutions, right? Solutions,
Mm,
not just dwell in the
mm,
problem and the incident, but look for request for solutions, and also being able to compromise, yeah, because everybody will come out, both parties will come out with their own solutions. Yeah, and finally, yeah, coming to an agreement, making an having an agreement, yeah, about certain subject matter, about certain opinion, right? Yeah.
mm.
Okay, I mean that was a very good 5 steps. Thanks for sharing
I
that.
hope it's I hope it's useful because sometimes we want to solve a problem, but we don't quite know how to go about solving it. We know the benefits of doing certain things, but we don't quite know how to even get started in the right
Mm,
direction, right? Yeah.
right. Yeah. I think relationship is not so straightforward, as in like that you require time and effort and a lot of love and to actually build and nurture a relationship, and all these skill
Mm,
sets that communication skills, like conflict management, all these skill sets are necessary to build a lasting and healthy relationship.
yeah, like they always say, right? Marriage is made in heaven, but maintained on earth. Meaning it takes hard work. It's yeah, when you're in love and everything is good, Yeah, I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me, we do fun stuff together and all. But I think, those who have been in relationships or in marriages, you will realize that once that lovely, you can't be feeling just like us, right? We can't be feeling happy every day. We go through a whole array of emotions. And likewise, in a relationship that spans years or decades, there will be up and down. So, what is the glue that is going to still be tying the both of you together? Actually, is this word called commitment.
Mm-hmm.
I realize.
Mm.
Yeah. Love is actually about commitment,
Yeah, yeah,
right? That through the tough
and
times, that's what's gonna make you hang on even though you don't feel like doing something. Yeah. It's like buying a pet, right? During COVID season, I realized a lot of people start going to buy pets because maybe they're stuck at home and they realize that, yeah, one company and all. Then they forgot that it is not just buying a an animal. It's a lifetime commitment. You're gonna have to go through the tough times with your aged dog or cat, and when they're having issues, do you just dump them? So that is actually love. Love is not a feeling. Love is not a feel good feeling, but this is what Hollywood and everything else has been feeding us, that love is
Disneyland,
just this.
happily ever
Yeah,
after.
correct. If you truly love someone, you will be committed to that someone. And even if sacrifices and all these are just part of being in that relationship and part of your commitment to that person,
Yeah. To me, I
right?
would say everything is it's a choice. It's a choice that we make, right? Even to make the decision to be committed to this relationship,
Mm,
it boils down to a choice. Yeah. So love is a choice. Yeah. You may feel tired, come back from work. It was a long day, and you have already like hit your quota for the number of words that you need to communicate out there, and you come back, you're just so tired. But there you are, your partner, your kids, they need your attention, right? They need to hear from you. They want to talk with you. They want to have conversations with you. They want your attention, your time. And it's a choice. It's a choice to, okay, put aside my tiredness, whatever, I have experienced out there. Just leave it at the door when you step into the home. Yeah. And make a choice to engage with your loved ones. So to me, it's like it's a choice. Yeah. And if you
I
love, you will make that choice. Yeah. And three said,
Yes.
yes, true love is about commitment.
It's about commitment. It's true. And commitment is a word that is very big. It encompasses so much. But like I said, if you look deep within yourself, right, and you truly care or love somebody, right, it, your heart will do the talking. I
Yeah.
feel even like I totally agree with you. You are tired or whatever, but you will do it because you truly care about that person. But if you don't truly care about the person, and you yourself, it's actually the most important, and only you will know. Let's be frank about it, right? Your actions will show. That's why I say it is through the little actions and through time that you can, I would say you can tell a person's character, and also through the tough times,
Mm.
because it's a
Yep.
tough time where the real character is actually revealed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Justine, for sharing with us more from your book. And here's
My
a shout out
pleasure.
to here's a shout out to your book. And how there's a link, right? A pre-order form that
That's
you
right.
can you can order Jucelyn's book, Standing Tall, Overcoming All, through the link that comes with this post. So yeah, grab her book. It's a must read for women, and there's so many nuggets of wisdom from her experiences in her relationship. So you don't want to miss that. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for the shout out. Yes, we are already accepting pre-orders, and I've already got quite a bit of pre-orders. So once the book is out, and we're really working on that, we are getting close to it. And then I'll be
Yes.
contacting those who have already, made their pre-order and their purchase, and I'll be contacting you, right? And
Yeah.
I'm also going to throw in some bonus, yeah, for because there are some
Oh.
women who actually said, "Oh, I'm going to buy for myself, and then I'm going to share with my friends, and all." And yeah, I really am very appreciative of those who like bought multiple copies. Because they
Mm-hmm.
want to bless and give to their friends who they think might need it. And so for those who like purchase like 10 copies and above, I would actually be throwing in a complimentary 1 hour styling program for you.
Oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
that's right. Because we are talking so much about confidence and everything, right? Confidence, how confidence impact, self-confidence impact our relationships, the way we carry ourselves and all. And one way
Mm.
of being confident is that you're confident of yourself, the way you dress and knowing what colors suit you. And yeah. So for those who order multiple copies, 10 copies and above, it comes with a complimentary 1 hour
Wow,
etiquette
thank you.
session.
Very generous of you, Jocelyn. So yeah, our audience out there, what are you waiting for? Click on the link that comes with this video. Grab the bundle package, right? Yeah, I have a bundle package for that. Yeah.
Yes, and if
All
the more
right.
copies you order, it's also the price would be different as well. So it's really like bonus upon bonus, right? To thank you for your support,
And
really.
Jocelyn,
Mm.
I also understand that you're actually supporting a nonprofit organization, right? Through your book. Yeah.
That's right.
So you
Yes,
want to share? Yeah.
part of my paying it forward through this book initiative is actually number of copies of the books that I sell will go towards the safe place. So it's a place
Safe place.
for women. The Safe Place. That's right. It's a non-profit organization, and they reach out to women of all
Mm.
ages or religions who might need help and support when they are going through their pregnancy and they need a place for whatever reasons, that they
Mm.
need a place to be a safe place to be at for the duration of their pregnancy, and also after their pregnancy if they do need follow up help. So that
All
is the
right.
organization that, yes, I would be supporting. So your
Oh,
purchase of the books would also go into helping, yeah, my cause.
okay. Yeah. So yes, the support the safe place, right, through the purchase of Standing Tall, Overcoming All. All right. So you get to learn so much about relationships, about being true to yourself, self-love, and discovering yourself. Not only that, you also get to support a nonprofit organization, the Safe Place. Okay, so yes, we have come to the end of this episode. So yeah, time's up. We will come back again next Tuesday, right at 12:30.
That's right.
So we see you again soon.
See
Bye.
you.